All right, cool. Let's get started. So, you you four have been hired to come to the town of Flux and Flicker to investigate something called the Rott that's been killing all the crops, like this kind of poisoning the land life and making it like blackish or like rotting. It seems to be killing uh, like the creatures inside the forest, zombifying them, and they start wandering towards Flux and Flicker to just like eat people. You four were hired by Professor Huffman of the one of the town's like researchers and like sages who proclaims that he has a way if like you guys find the source, he has a way to like purify the the rod, like the rot, and like cure this whole thing. So you four, uh, you four come take the job and start coming to town to meet Professor Hoffman. Uh, da, da, da. Well, hold on. So Dominic, you were one of the like you were like a town's resident, right? You're from this town. I think we talked about that.
Yeah, I'm a relatively recent arrival, but yeah, for sure.
So you wouldn't meet up with Professor Hoffman while the other three start coming into town. So to give you a sense of the town, what you see around the town is like weird as you're walking in, like there's weird inventions, like people practicing how to fly, like make a makeshift turbine broom to fly on, or like like powered uh, powered wagons to carry things, little like makeshift legs to on a little table to make them walk to other stores. You see a hobbling chest with legs as a man's like walking towards different shops. You see a bunch of like different people exchanging notes, uh, pointing to like big whiteboards and explaining like equations or like what do you think about this idea, this idea. There's loud debates on like how this type of magic works, how they're like how this like idea for a thing already exists or it's be dumb to even make it. The smell coming in is a bit like rotten. You can smell like the rot coming from the forest leaking into this town, and it's just like a small smell. I think uh, Tormade, Tormame, Tormade, Tormade,
Tormande.
Tormade, Tormade. Uh, as a cleric, you feel like the presence, like undead, deeper into the forest, and you're not liking like the smell and the feel of that coming through. You feel like past the gates where the giant fire cannons are, though those corpses just give off a putrid like evil scent. What you also smell in the town is like iron. There's tons of iron workings, blacksmiths, like the buildings are made of stone and iron. There's always something being made with metal. There's like faint iron and like the smell. I don't know if you realize what I'm saying when you smell like electricity. but like
Yeah.
smell of like
Yeah.
energy, power. You smell that through the air, and it just like sparks your hair up a bit. You feel tingly. You feel like your magic is like a bit stronger here. And
Entered the dwarven city.
that too. You feel you would feel like energetic, or like you would feel people being around you energetic or just busy doing work. You would feel like if you spent some time here, you would get lost in like thoughts or debates with these people about like the stars or like how uh, weapons can be betterly made. You feel like if you get swept up in everything, if it wasn't for this job, you would be one of those people debating about something. And like in like magic just flows through the air with like an energy sensation. So you walk into town and uh, going into the town hall, you meet Professor Hoffman and hold on, I can do it. Dominic the Halfling.
I've got a quick question here.
You're a halfling though.
I think he's a
No.
rock gnome.
Damn it.
Rock gnome.
Doesn't matter. Racism.
So I chose a guild, just kind of created one in my own head. How divided are the different inventors, creators guild in this town? Is there unity among them, or is each little
It's more
kind of
competition. Like
competition?
the inventor,
So
there's an inventors guild here, right? So they're the only ones that can patent something out. Like, here's a patent, this is copyright towards you, and if you sell it, the guild makes some money because they're distributing it to other guilds and like other shops, and they have like it's invented by this guy or it's invented by her. Like, no, if they invent it, they put in the document. No, and if someone else brings something like it, they go like, well, you can't do that because someone else already invented this. So it's a little bit of competition to get there first. You want to be the person that invents like Facebook or the events like the Warforge, stuff like that. You want to be the person that does it.
So there's like departmental rivalries, but all in all, we're all inventors here right?
Yes. Like you guys help each other out. You can help each other out or like debate on things, but you all can come together and do things together.
Cool.
So you meet Professor Hoffman at the town hall and you see a small gnome next to him. They seem to be talking about something. And as you three approach, he looks over and like waves you like, adventurers, hello! How may I help you?
Hail, we're here for the job about removing the rot.
Oh, yes. Oh. See, well, as I was explaining to my gnomon friend here, we need a second group of adventurers to help us come into the forest. I know you accepted the job, but is there like is there any way you want to do this, or do we just walk in there? You want to, I don't know, like prepare something? I don't really leave the wall much. I just studied some of the like Rott, and I feel like I got a cure for it.
So it's not a guarantee that it'll work.
Well, I feel like it will work.
Well, I guess it's better than nothing.
I give your character the kind of like eye-raising look of like, yeah, maybe, the look like. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, excuse me. This is my friend and partner, Dominic. He's halfling, I think.
Greetings, all. And I say to Quail in Gnomish, howdy, cousin. Because from all the research I've done, it seems like most of the gnome subspecies are cool with each other. It doesn't seem like they hate each other.
We're pretty peaceful. I don't
Yeah.
know if you'd know what type of gnome he is, because he's kind of all bandaged up with these big glasses on.
Cool.
I would say to Hoffman, I would just say, what can you tell us of the Rott?
Well, it's a plague-like thing. It starts poisoning crops. The land is done for. We tried replanting the soil and it just withers away. We tried exchanging the soil, enchanting the soil, and over time it like the land just blackens once again. We don't know what's in that forest. We sent a group of adventurers out there and they haven't come back. It was like 2 days ago. And then we sent word by Raven to a druid friend in the forest, and he's not replying either. The bird hasn't come back. We think whatever's in there is killing off plant life and like reanimating it to serve something.
Reanimating the plant.
Reanimating the plant, the wildlife. We haven't seen the adventure, so it's not like they turned into zombies too.
And she sort of chuckles at the zombie. Zombie. Of course. And she sort of rolls her eyes.
There's nothing funny about the undead.
I have not seen them. They exist?
Yes.
Interesting.
Can we either role play this out or let me make a roll to see? Because I've been talking to Hoffman for a little bit just to see how much his theory seems sound to me.
You can roll for it. Give me an insight. Investigation. You looked over his notes. No, no, there's no knowledge check. But you get the general idea. Some kind of intelligence check.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. I think I have a proficiency bonus. So what would that roll? This is also just to kind of check out, make sure I'm doing this right. What would my beat intelligence? No, roll under intelligence, right?
Yeah, like not history. Yeah, it would be like investigation, arcana. That's one. Nature,
Right.
insight. That's wisdom.
Okay. Perfect. So let's see here.
Whatever you think will fit best on how you want to ask the question, you can use it.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll Arcana here, and let's just see here. And am I rolling high or low?
High. You're adding your things together to get a high number.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay, so it's right. Okay, so okay. 16 plus Arcana bonus, which is doubled the totally well in the realm here.
So how much?
Way above. All right. Okay. So 16 plus Arcana, which is let's see, Arcana is +5, and then what's that? 21, and then and there's a double proficiency bonus.
No, there would be. It would your Arcana would be, since you're proficient in it. It would be Intelligence, which is +3, and
Right.
+2 proficiency.
It's 5, and then I
Would
have
make 5.
Artificer's Lore. Right, add my proficiency bonus to intelligence checks with magic, alchemical, and technological items. See or no? I'm good with that, whatever you rule.
Sorry, what was that?
I have Artificer's Lore, add my proficiency bonus to intelligence history checks with magic, alchemical, and technological items.
Right,
Whatever you're ruling.
you would be adding a +2 to.
Oh, okay. So, but not the skill set. All right, so 7, so 23.
I think that's right? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Field, you added that. Okay.
Yeah, I was doubling the whole thing and not doubling the proficiency part. Now, see, this is good. Now this is out of the way, and I'll know how to do it in the future.
Okay.
Right.
So, So you look over the relics, the scrolls, and you figure that these 3 scrolls, if they're not like placed in like a like a triangular way, they won't work until the final one is placed. And you feel like this could cure most poisons or like rotting, but you're not 100% if it'll cure like this, because just like everyone else don't exactly understand what it is. But if it's just like normal rot or like blight, there may be a chance that it cures it.
Serious sound is where we're going with that, right?
Was that?
Sound. I don't see anything on the surface that immediately makes me go, "Nah, this guy's full of bullshit." Totally could be legit.
Could be legit. You don't see anything that might be wrong. As a friend, you don't see that he is just bluffing to get more people killed. You feel like he might be onto something.
Thank you.
Anything else anyone would like to do?
No, everything seems pretty straightforward. He wants us to go in there, use a device to purge the rot.
No.
I think,
go ahead.
Sorry, I think Seven would ask one more question. She'll just ask, and the forest before the rot, what was it like?
It was green and lively. Like it felt pure. Like when you walked in there, it cleaned out the air. It shined the sun brightly through. It seemed unnatural. We did some digging, and it seems to be like blessed by some like holy magic. It might be the paladins and cleric across the forest that may be doing this. We're not exactly sure, but that's as much as we figured. That there's like radiant magic coming from it. That was how it looked like before. It was. Now it's just like black and gloomy. You walk in even in the daylight, and it looks like you're walking through the dark. It's unsettling.
And I think she would just be. It would be like a blank stare as he was relaying all this information. It would be going straight in and staying there. And at the end, she would, when he finished speaking, she would just nod, and that would be it.
Do you all need to register yourselves at the inn? Buy some. So we have wonderful shops here. Is there anything you need, or do you want to just head out now?
I let the rest of the party know that I'm a little bit of a collector and I overpack for every situation. And so, like, I have like 4 tents and like 10 bedrolls and like, just in case we need it, guys. Just in case.
I'm fine with everything I have.
Well, if you're all set, then you want to head off now, or he looks a bit nervous. He's not exactly. He hasn't. He's not the adventuring type. He just wants to get this over with and come back to his safe home. But he feels obligated to go with you. That's why he keeps asking more questions. Like, are you good? Are you going to keep you safe? How's this going to work out?
Oh, I didn't realize you were traveling with us.
I didn't either.
Oh, well, of course. If this works, I need a patent it. I need to know personally that it works before I can claim my fame. I can't just go over to the Crimson Lizard and go like, I have this new cure, and then that stupid gnome just, no offense, takes it and then starts selling it on his own.
I don't see any problem with that.
Seven says, curtly, she just says, you should tell Dominic how it works in case you die before we get there.
His eyes widen. He looks at you, but you'll protect me, right?
Of course.
We'll do our best,
Of
but
course we'll protect you.
things happen.
And think about your legacy, my friend. Your legacy.
And he starts stroking his thin beard. How about this? I explain it to all of you, and whoever does it, I think it'll be easier. And also, I mean, just throw my name in, right? At the end. If I somehow pass, Dominic, you have all my papers. You just throw in my name and everything.
You'll be done justice, I promise.
So he walks all of you to a table, and he produces these 3 scrolls, and he places each of them in like side by side and opens each one. And there's these arcane scriptures that glow faintly until the last one is open. And he begins to explain that now we need to find where there's like the most, well, basically rot and plaguish area that's just spewing from the ground. I'm assuming that we'll be able to tell when we get there. We place each one of these right next to one another. You need to spend some time like reading the ruins and just place it, then move on to the next one. And once we reach the third one, they have to at least align perfectly into a triangle, right? So it can summon forth whatever healing properties it has, just like destroy the rot from inside the forest. It should work.
Is there sort of sanitation, protection, gas mask, bandanas for our mouths? Anything we should bring that would be helpful for this?
So no one's really been deep into the forest, so they don't know what could happen in there. It's all up for you to grab more things if you need it. But from the samples they took outside of it, Hoffman figures that this is the best for it. He doesn't know what's inside of it, though. He doesn't know where the source is. That's where you guys come in and find it.
I mean, from what he's saying, we don't, he doesn't think that it sort of goes to the like transfers to people yet, or he doesn't know that. He's seen no like evidence of it.
No, he's no real evidence. Like those adventures that went out, they just haven't come back. So it's not like you go in and become like the undead immediately, because to them that's not proof that they're just because they're not back doesn't mean they just wandered off somewhere.
That's what I mean. They haven't actually seen that, so that's not even on their minds, right?
Right, that's not even on their minds. Like the only evidence that there's undead in there is the wild animals that just start wandering off and and start coming into town where they have to just start burning it to keep it away.
Is anyone clever enough to know that that's not true?
Probably not.
I mean, technically,
I could make a medicine check if we come across a corpse, but
you could do that. Plus, Dominic, you're the one that thought of it. I would assume that your character that would be the same thought process as your character. And plus, you also said you're prepared for anything. I'm assuming you would go like, oh, that's, of course, we would probably need that too.
The only thing I could think of that, I mean, and this is like my real world brain thinking, is like some like 180 proof alcohol and some clean rags. I mean, really, but this is like me thinking about this from like the standpoint of like
an inventor.
Well, no, post like understanding of bacterium, I don't, like a modern person, right? But yeah. I'll pick up some like some sort of sanitizing something or other. You know what I mean?
Do you want to pick up for the whole group or just you?
I got a bag of holding, and I got kind of like a little bit of a like hoarder issue. I mean, I'll pick up a large bottle of booze and a stack of rags.
All right, that'll run you like just 2 gold.
Yep. All right.
Any other questions?
I'm going to voice my concern that Professor Hoffman doesn't have any precise words to describe how his scrolls should take effect.
Well, to be honest with you four, this is kind of the first trial run. We're not out. I have no idea if this is 100% work. It should work. I mean, the rot seems to go away if you change the soil. The rot seems to go away once you like enchant the land. It just keeps coming back. Now these 3 skulls, I feel like if we hit the source, if we just hit the source from around it, it should eliminate it, because there's no way it could be expanding from there.
That is the 3rd time you've said should.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you.
Well, you're putting your life on the line as well, so as long as you'll be there.
Of course, yes. I mean, if it doesn't work, we just run. and try again tomorrow.
If we don't wind up being in there for more than one day.
Then we'll try again the next day. Either way, whatever happens is valuable data. And we can use it to make something better. Hopefully.
I can agree with that.
See, I like this guy.
When I look out of the window, where is the sun, and is it late or early or?
It's like
Yeah.
it's like morning. It's around
Okay.
morning-ish. It's the sun's in the air. It'll take some time before the sun sets. You arrived like around 9, 10-ish.
So she would say, she would look out, and she would say, "We don't want to lose the day. We should move sooner rather than later."
Yes, of course. Well, onwards. And he pulls out a small rapier, and just points forward as he starts walking out the door.
How long is it going to take us to get there?
Not really that long. It should be maybe 30 minutes. It's right outside the town. Just leave town, walk around the wall, then just start walking into the path of the forest.
It's going to take me a little bit longer to do that, but I want to start working on one of my little clockwork toys, just kind of tinkering as I go.
All right.
It's just kind of
I'm going to suggest for Seven to take lead, since she's more attuned with nature. She'll have a better chance of knowing where to go.
You'd think that, wouldn't you?
So as Professor Hoffman's walking through the town, he looks over his shoulders like, "So how did you all meet? I know Dominic lives here, but why'd you take my job?"
I took this job because I have a friend who lives here, and he's too stubborn to move out, even with my best of warnings.
Oh, and who was that?
Just another inventor who lives here.
Name any name you want. I'll give it to you. Put you on the spot. Ba-ba-ba-ba-da.
His name is Baldrin Steelhammer.
Huh. What do you do here?
He's a smith.
Oh, good smiths. They're hard to come by. The things they can do with a hammer, I'll tell you. They make our jobs a bit easier. What say you, lady?
And I imagine she continues walking and doesn't realise that you're talking to me. It's maybe like the second or third time, like lady, and then she turns and she says, "I was sent by my people to document the surface."
Oh, how are you finding it?
Pleasant.
Oh, good. I can't recommend it. The sunlight is amazing.
Yes, sure. And she pulls her cowl down a little bit over her eyes again.
I'm surprised you can even see out here.
Yeah, Paul can pretend that that's not a thing. Or not.
No, I know it's a thing. Do you say this in character or?
No, that was me being it.
No, Alex.
Oh yeah, I say that in character.
Oh, sorry.
Of the wonders the light can do for your eyes. Like even the drow up here. Have you noticed that through generations their skin has changed into a brownish color? They become just, not to be derogatory, but just darker elves. And they
They start kind of look like they're wood elves now.
Yeah.
Oh, she would 100% give you a glance through her bright white eyes, just shoot you the foulest look.
Like, give her some time and her eye color would change. It's really a wonder through genetics. I actually have a thesis on it at my home. If you care to stop by for a second, we can talk about this. Like,
I think our mission is a little more important than a thesis.
oh, right. Of course. Sorry. Just the wonders of different races and he just starts going on and like rattling on, even though you just told him the importance of this job. He's like, yeah, but look what I did. Look how cool I am.
I'm getting this like weird like Nazi eugenicist vibe off this guy.
Is this company called Umbrella?
No, he just carries around an umbrella. There's a difference.
I would like to as we're traveling, start up a conversation with Quail and find out a little bit about where he's from. Say hi, share a little bit about myself. I mean, in that, I could be wrong about the world, but I'm feeling like gnomes have some sort of affinity for each other, and we're relatively rare in this world, right?
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I just realized, like, hey, Dan's really quiet.
Are you talking to him in Gnomish?
How weird is that? To like, yeah.
It's like it would be as weird as a Spanish guy walking up to another Spanish guy and just starts talking in Spanish.
That's not that weird.
Yeah, that's as weird as it would be.
Surrounded by people that can't speak Spanish.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want, I can talk to Seven in Undercommon.
Okay, right now I'm in Spain, and there's a bunch of people who speak a bunch of different things, and it's not that weird when people with the shared, but like there's a lot of people who speak Arabic, and it's not at all weird when the Arabic speakers.
No, that's not weird. I'm just saying that's as weird as it would be.
Well, in America, it's a little bit. Yeah, we're like a little bit. Okay, so yeah.
Dan, hello.
If I get a weird look.
Hello.
Go ahead. Sorry.
When you start talking to him, he sort of holds up his finger like, give me a second, as he starts to unwrap this huge cloth mask he has on him. So hard to breathe and talk under that thing. Then again, it's, the sun's not good for the skin. Oh, what'd you ask?
I just, where are you from? I'm from nearby here. We don't, we're a lot more common here than y'all. What do you think about the drow? Isn't that a little weird?
Yeah, I mean, well, down there, we've had pretty good relations. Used to be a, rock miner. Pretty dangerous, because there was always this, any snaps for the word, volcano nearby that kept, go over one day, but, so far it hasn't. But, yeah, we traded with a drow, but seeing one up here seems off.
Well, let me know if you need anything. I got some good stuff in this little bag here. It seems small, but I travel REI'd out. Which is probably like Rasmussen's expeditious institute in this world. whatever the camping organization is in this world. The camping store in this world is.
It'd be just another item shop.
Just another item shop.
The store is literally called the general store.
The general store.
It's no, but yeah, things like that. It would be just like a normal store. There's a couple of shops here. Yeah, I'm not gonna rattle them off. So you reach the outer rim of like the outer rim of the wall entrance, the south entrance scene. Hoffman turns without a word immediately to his left and starts heading around the wall, and it starts explaining like the structure of this, how this wall is built, and like what kind of trees they made out of it, the different types of stone carvings they put on it to make it more sturdy, the steel, and like during this whole walk, even if you guys are talking to each other, he's just going off and just starts talking about many things that just keeps popping into his mind. One thing topic leads to the other. Like part of him knows no one's listening, but another part of him is just like he's quizzing himself mostly. Like he likes knowledge. I like knowing what I know. So he starts going off, and as you're walking like down the path to the forest, you start noticing how the grass starts blackening from like a brown to a black, and it starts like the closer you get to the forest, it looks just like it looks just like dirty mulch, just gray and black. There's no leaves or green. The tree bark seems to be falling apart on itself as like large pus and warts are around some bark, and the green leaves that used to be on top of the trees have blackened over like a large nightshade, and it's just covering everything. Like the trees are still intact. There are still leaves up there, but they're just black and lifeless. It's strange. And the smell it smells like garbage. Like there's some rotten stink coming from inside the forest. Like, and when you reach the edge of the forest, Hoffman just stops and goes like, well, anyways, we're here now. I feel like I should stop talking because we don't know what we might attract. And he like bends over and like rips a sample of the grass and just shows to you, like, look at it. It's strange. It looks like it's lifeless, but it still has the same composite and like structure of a blade of grass and mud. Yet it feels empty and hollow. Like, come here, and he just like yanks the drow down. Like, look, touch this right here.
Seven will get to her on one knee. Well, no, she'll just sort of crouch down, and she rips some of the grass and mud up, and she just smells it, and then lets it fall through her fingers.
As it falls through your finger, it's like a slimy texture, and the smell, it smells like mildew, but from like the Underdark, which is strange to you because mildew needs something to like live on, and there's no life here. But that's as close as the smell you can get to it.
She sort of mutters under her breath, smells like home. And then she will look into the trees.
This is how your home smells. I'm glad I live in a regular place.
I'm going to take a couple of samples and put them in a couple little vials that I have in my bag.
Like so it feels like just you're putting mud into these vials, and like you're pushing it down. It releases like a rotting smell as you're pushing it more and more into the vial.
I'm just saving it for later. I'm not expecting to like figure out anything now, but just in case, I'm just gonna take some. I got plenty of space in the fucking bag of holding, so.
That's fine. Dan, the quiet one.
I think Quail is just gonna sort of take this all in. Um, Look around, be very careful. But other than that, I think he just sort of sits still.
So, Professor Hoffman just clears the door. Shall we proceed? He's obviously not leading this anymore.
All right, this is where the point where I'm going to draw my shield and longsword.
Yeah, I wanna ask, who do we think should? Seems like maybe the druid should be our leader in this. I'm a little bit out of my depth here. Anybody else feel particularly savvy about?
I think that as she sort of smelt the conversation went on. She looked into the tree. She stood up and she began slowly walking into the forest proper. I'm not leaving you guys behind, but just sort of stepped in anyway. And as she walks, it's like she wears these like long flowing clothes, and it's almost like she glides over the floor. Like you never see her take a step.
I'm still learning it. This is
Yes.
yes.
What a unique trait. And I follow behind her. I want to be relatively close to 7, maybe about 10 feet behind her.
Okay. So, Alex, I'm looking for like class trait where you would find like not the spell, isn't it? What I'm thinking of, like detect undead and stuff like that.
No, paladins have a divine sense. Clerics don't get it.
Well, damn. All right.
I mean, I could make a medicine check
No. I'm
or
just.
something.
That's why I gave you like the sense of death coming from it, because I thought clerics also had it, but I opened up your character sheet. I was looking through. I was like, no, I don't think he does have that.
Now,
Never mind that.
No.
I have a detect magic.
We used to have an aura, but we don't have the aura anymore.
Okay.
I have detect magic, but that's a spell. I don't know how passive that is. That might be like a spell I need to cast, right? I mean,
yeah, it would be a spell you need to catch. It's cast.
And what is it like a one-off count against my daily spells?
Is detect magic a cantrip?
If it's a cantrip, it just happens. You can just cast it, and you don't have to wait another. You would have to just have the remaining time of how long it lasts.
I think detect magic is a spell, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a level 1.
Yeah, let me look at where I got it from.
It's probably a ritual, though. I don't know that for sure.
I keep opening and closing my book.
Detect magic is a first level spell.
Yeah.
I finally opened my book and I heard the spine just crack, and I was like, "Ooh, I opened it."
Its casting time is 1 round, and you can sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of him. In this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you can learn its school of magic, if any.
It's also a ritual, so you don't have to use a spell slot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you could just cast it, or you could take like 10 minutes, or whatever it is, to do it.
Okay. So instantaneous cast takes a spell slot, right?
Yeah. A ritual doesn't take any slots.
Okay.
How about I gotta go do something real quick. Let's take a 10 minute,
Yeah.
5 to 7 minute break. We can figure this out. Be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's like rules on how long it takes to cast a ritual spell. I'm sure there is, but
Right.
I've seen it.
Well,
The only thing I'm checking on here is I'm trying to figure this out. So like I got 3 spells from being artificer, and there are okay. Okay, so let's see. In the magic item analysis, starting at first level, you're understanding a magic item level, you analyze and understand their secrets. You know the artificer spells detect magic and identify, and you can cast them as rituals. You don't need to provide a material component of casting the identify with this class feature. Okay, so it pretty much functions just like any other spell. So I just knew that it came in. Those two came in separately from the other ones. I'm going to ask the other character. I'm going to get up and go to the bathroom real quick. I'm going to ask the other characters if they want to pause for a second while I prepare a ritual to allow us to pick up on magic, if it's worth the time. I would say it probably is.
It's definitely worth it.
if you feel that that is the right course of action.
Duration.
10 minutes concentration.
Okay. Yeah. I think so. What do the rest of you guys feel like? Just an extra little bit of awareness of what we're walking into here?
As a character, I'm assuming that this is some sort of undead plague. But it's not affecting people, so he doesn't really know what to think of it.
I'll be right back to that.
Yeah, I think Seven's more like intrigued. She doesn't believe. Well, she didn't think before she came up here that the surface would have these dark pockets. She thought that was just for the Underdark, but she thought it would all be green, beautiful landscapes, all the rest of it.
Think too highly of the surface.
Yeah, apparently so.
You should see what the cities are like.
I have not visited one yet. I look forward to it.
You might feel a little too comfortable. I'm not sure if that displeases me or not. I jest, by the way. If I make too much fun of you, please let me know.
Oh no, I love it, man. My last character was
I'll be right back,
dick.
I'll be right back, Jim.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a drink real quick.
Cool.
Hello?
Dan needs to be invited again.
Okay, cool. Dan. Click. Send. Sorry, I had to do laundry.
You're the dungeon master, dude.
I know,
Dungeon
but
masters don't do laundry.
I know, but I realized it's been sitting down there too long. Girlfriend isn't back yet. I need to go do it. I had to do it. I'm sorry.
That's cool. Just as a side note, I think these people are fucking awesome.
Wait, what?
I like the players you brought in. I think they're cool.
Thanks, buddy. Are they not here?
Two of them went to take a drink, I think, and Dan's waiting to come back.
Yeah, man. I told you they're good. I like them.
I'm back.
So your character, Alex, is he from like some glorious high elf city or?
No, he just thinks highly of himself.
Okay.
He's a sage, an astronomer, so he spends time mostly by himself.
Mhm.
He thinks highly of his race too, but he doesn't spend much time among them, obviously.
Yeah, that's cool. That one needs the bottom.
I'm back.
I'm just waiting on Dan to reconnect. Did send it to him, right?
Yeah.
Just in case, send it again. I tried a new thing and I tried describing like the sensations you would feel at different places. Let me know how that turned out. Is that good? I'd give you like a sense of the idea of what's going on.
I like that because I mean, emotions aren't always. This is the psychologist in me, but your emotions aren't always right. It's
Cool. Just want to make sure. Just trying to get better. Oh, that is weird.
No, Dan. Still.
He's in the chat, but he doesn't appear to be like in it. That makes sense.
Okay.
Like I'm talking to him like through the chat, but he only appears on my phone and not.
Is this like we need to make a new hangout?
Restart your app. I'll resend an invite. Right, there he goes. Oh. All right, let's do that. Then resend the thing. Once I feel like he did it. We always have technical difficulties. I could not say that word.
So I'm going to look to the eccentric gnome that has been viling everything on the ground. Dominic, is it?
Yep.
I was curious. What were you talking to your friend about?
Oh, just the other gnome?
Yes.
Just where we come from. You know, don't see many of our distant relatives around.
Forgive me, but I can't tell the difference.
Oh, well, let me tell you a history of the gnomish race, and he starts to like played some very boring and long-winded history of how gnomes separated and colonized specific areas. It gets very boring very quickly.
Uh,
Hello?
hi there, Dan.
Hi.
You made it.
So what happened,
We took a quick
if anything?
break, and Dominic was planning on using a ritual detect magic.
Alright. I have no idea what that was. It was really weird. You guys all went quiet, so I just
Are we
tried to
sure the
like
rot isn't
restart my
taking
app.
you, and we just haven't noticed yet?
Maybe.
Is Paul doing laundry again? Paulie?
Oh, damn it. I was muted.
Stop doing laundry.
No, I was muted.
Bullshit.
Yeah, dude, laundry's a hell of a drug.
It is. All right. So, yes. Back to where we were. Jumping right back to it. You guys are now walking through the forest. The sunlight
And
utterly
I
disappears above you.
and I have taken the time to do the uh to uh to prepare a ritual of detect magic.
All right. So, I like that sound now. It makes me happy. Detect magic does. That's dispel magic. That's not what I want. You feel as you're all walking through the forest and the sunlight fades from above you, and it seems to be take on the appearance of walking through a cave. You the squishing of your feet drags beneath the sand, drags beneath the like muck. And Dominic, as you finish casting your ritual, you like look out into the forest and you feel like presence of some like uh hold on. You feel like the presence of some magic in front of you, and then you get a huge burst of like like a punch in the head of like the whole area around you is just screaming of like necromancy energy. It's just, but it's like something you've never sensed before. Like necromancy, you've recognized it, but this type, like this, such something this powerful is just falling. It's like a huge weight was just pressed down against you. As as you're feeling the presence of this energy, it's so overwhelming. You know exactly what it is. You know it's necromancy, but something this powerful is something definitely would scare you.
I share this information. I say, folks, there is powerful death magic here, and I have never experienced anything like this before in my life.
Well, that's inviting.
I think this is magic. This is magic and not disease. I mean, maybe it's disease and magic at the same time, but it's not just. There's something else here.
All right. With that news, I'm going to cast light on my sword. And I'm going to cast guidance on Seven because she is guiding us.
Ah,
So your sword lights up, and it lights the area around you, and you see the forest in a different light. It looks putrid. It looks like it's rotting from the inside out. It looks unnatural even. It's not just rot anymore. It's just decay. It's like decay. It's like pussy. Like if the trees were like humans, you would see like a corpse on each tree. Like the tree remains, but it's like a corpse of its former self.
is the
Make sure that Professor Hoffman is safe.
He is like back to. He's just pressing up against.
against who?
Toward my deck. Toward my day. Toward my day.
I tell him to remain calm.
But this is unnatural. This requires study. I didn't prepare for this. He starts just mumbling to himself like how he could have done better for this situation.
If
Nobody's
Seven,
ever prepared.
if Seven walked up to one of the trees and just put a hand like straight through the rock, cracked through the brittle wood, what would pour out of it? Maggots?
Your
Would there be
hand
no
just
life?
your hand would just sneak in and like you feel like slime and entrails as you pull out. It's just red gunk. There is maggots, but there's like gunk and slime, like the roots, like the wooden body of this tree is just gunk now, and you're pulling out, and the tree seems to be getting weaker as it starts like turning a bit, and then you see the gunk just flow right back up and start solidifying itself onto the tree to hold the tree back up. The slime around you like starts trickling down like water onto the ground and like melts right back into the ground.
There's like these maggots and the skunk and everything like fell through her fingers again. And she would just sort of rub her palm with her thumb. Again, she would say under her breath, there is still life.
I hardly call this living, but I'll take your word for it.
She would say, nature is not always warm. Sometimes it can be cruel. This is still life, and she sort of just flicks her hand like all the gunk and the maggots just like fall off. And if everyone was everyone was looking ready, she would just begin to she would like just walk around the tree and begin moving deeper into the forest.
Tormade. So are you concentrating on 7 with the guidance, or if she doesn't use it within the minute, it starts fading away?
If she doesn't use it within a minute, it fades.
Okay.
Just out of game, like what does guidance do? What is it?
So-
It gives you an extra D4 on an ability check.
Okay, okay, cool.
So, do you want to use it, or do you just let it fade?
Yeah, I mean, I think to be fair, just naturally she would be like looking deeper into the forest. Maybe some sort of perception check to see if we can see. Hoffman said something about that there would be like a condensed area where it would be spilling out from.
Right.
Would I see like an area where it's denser and more violent?
Roll a perception check.
Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. I mean, we're doing critical fails, right?
Yeah,
That's a 1 then.
it's a 1. You.
Oh, come on.
What's
7.
the roll? What's the roll in total?
My D4. That's 9.
9. So you look out into the forest, and you swear you see like the trees and forest moving around you. That's all you get.
Or like unnaturally sort of swaying, or just actually moving.
You don't know
Is it
that.
more like?
You
Is
just
it like
see
blur?
move. You see movement. You can't tell what kind of movement. That's what you get with a 1. I can't really tell you much more.
I was trying to get it right in my head. If it's sort of like, is it literally like blurred vision kind of?
You swear
I
you
just
see
like
you swear you see things moving around you. Like you honestly do believe there's things moving around you. Like
okay.
right outside the glowing light of Tormade's sword. If nothing else,
I'm just
go
trying
ahead.
to comfort the professor.
Could I? You said I see things moving around me.
Mm-hmm.
Could you use fairy fire to ignite one of those things in light?
Go ahead.
It just does it, I think.
Oh, you ignite.
Oh wait, there. Sorry. If it's a creature,
Mm-hmm.
then it needs to make a dexterity saving throw. Otherwise, it's surrounded in dim light in a 10-foot radius. And this is more like a reaction, like a scared for the first time, sort of. Oh. So if it's not a creature, it doesn't do anything, I don't believe.
So you quickly turn around and you like cast your spell, and the behind these bushes lights up in a dim light.
And she will pull out this long scythe with this spike on the end, and she will just point, obviously, towards like this 10-foot light.
The dim light just seems to just glow there, non-moving, as the professor like sees you pointing with your scythe and just like grabs the arm of Tormade and just like slightly just edges him forward.
Fine, we will follow the drow. And I start leading him towards 7. And I ask, what do you what was with the spell? And I kind of look to the light.
Just wanted to make sure we did not lose whatever it is I saw. As she begins to sort of walk, like that kind of like tiptoe, like look over bushes, or like, do you know what I mean? Like that sort of looking around trees to see if she can, as she gets closer, see if she can see what it is that's engulfed in light.
You walk over, and laying on the ground seems to be a deer that is stuck in some kind of slime that's pulling it into the ground. Its chest is cut open, and it's breathing pretty hardly. It's trying to like kick its feet away, but the slime is slowly starting to cover its like wound and start going into the wound, and you see its blood start thickening and turning black.
It's wounded.
It's wounded and it's slowly dying.
Can we do anything for this poor creature? Is anyone?
What would you like to do? Oh, you're asking for it.
Any healers? What should we do here? We just can't let this creature. I've got bandages.
Well, if somebody could take the professor off of my arm, I would gladly go assist.
Professor, stay with me. Stay with me, Professor. I gotcha.
And Seven will like hold out the scythe point end out and say, "Hold on to this." I say that to Tormund.
Excuse me.
What?
You want me to hold onto your scythe?
You do not want to fall into that goo. You do want to get your fine clothes soiled. She sort of smiles.
I'll play your game. We'll help this creature, even though I think it's too late, personally. And I grab onto the end of the scythe, and I start walking towards the deer.
Yeah, the idea, Paul, is to sort of have him like, so he doesn't just fall into this shit.
Kind of like quicksand.
Yeah.
I think I have a better idea. I think I have rope. Yeah, I have rope. We can use rope and kind of lasso it.
I was muted, wasn't I?
Yeah.
God damn it. All right. I kept repeating my question. I was like, why isn't he answering it? Are you leaning over it or just walking right into it because you said walking?
Do I notice that it's an ooze sinking the deer?
You notice that it's ooze going into it, and from what she described is why she lends you the scythe. You're not exactly sure what it's doing.
I say, why don't we just lasso the horns of the deer, and we'll pull it up. I pull up my rope.
She says, you have skills.
I have rope. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. And I make a sort of lasso with the rope.
All right.
And we'll try to get the deer with it.
All right, while this is going on, Quail.
I'm not sure if he's still huffing alcohol or not.
Hello?
There you are. So, Quail, you're watching this go on as they're tying up a rope and trying to lean over to get the deer. And you like with your dark vision, you notice things moving, actual things moving in the trees. Like there's clear movement, and it's
I
like
think all of us have some form of dark vision.
right, but you guys are more focused on the deer.
Okay.
And mine goes out for 120 feet.
Oh,
Uh, can I try to like focus in on it with a perception?
Yes,
All right. That's a 12.
12.
Yeah, 12.
You see two you see two large like four-legged creatures stumbling around in the dark as two other thin creatures and four legs seems to be kicking at something on the ground, and they're like 80 feet away. They see like at first they seem to they're getting closer, but they seem to be like stumbling around, and there's something like where they are at, but you're not exactly sure what they are.
Um, there's something up ahead.
I say, Professor, get behind me, and I level and ready my boomstick.
The professor gets behind you and like draws out his rapier. Do you
Careful, be
do?
careful with that thing, buddy.
It's finely crafted. There's no need to worry. I know how to wield it. You point and stab. Do Seven and Tormade continue the deer thing, or do you drop it? Now, these are just
uh,
whispers going on behind you.
if I don't hear them, I don't. I guess there's nothing really I can do about it.
So you made your rope, and you start trying to get the antlers of the deer.
Yeah.
Give me a dexterity check.
Okay. 14.
14. You lasso the head of the deer, like the antlers, and you pull it. You pull, and it knots itself tight.
Can I help him pull it out?
Yes. Roll me athletics. Hit a 10, it gives Tormadea +2.
That's a straight. Oh no.
What?
Wait, sorry. Oh no, yeah, it's just an 18.
18? So he 7 helps Tormadea. Tormadea, roll. Are you trying to pull it?
I was expecting her to do it, but I'll help, I
Oh.
guess.
Well, if you want her to do it, she can do it. She rolled a number.
Yeah, I'll have her do it.
All right. What'd you roll again, Ben?
18.
So you start pulling onto the creature's head, and you. Who's closer to it?
Probably me because I'm the one hooking the rope on it.
You see its skin starting to pull apart as the more Seven starts like pulling, like as she's stepping back and pulling the rope with her. You see the deer's skin starting to rip apart, and more of the slime starts seeping in. The more she pulls, the more it rips. And would you want to tell her to stop, or do you want her to keep going?
Is it in obvious, like, is it in pain, like in enough pain where I think it's already too late for it?
It hasn't really yelled out. It's just been breathing heavily heavily. Blah, 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 blah. It's just been breathing heavily.
I'm gonna have faith in her decision, and I'm gonna actually help her pull it out.
All right, roll me athletics above a 10. That gives her +2 and 7. Your choice.
I only got like a 3.
Well, he's giving the best he can.
So I imagine with that, it kind of starts dragging down. Like, is that accurate? Like, it starts like.
No, he's helping you pull. You're still pulling. Do you want to continue pulling? Like, he gets behind you and grabs a piece of rope and starts pulling with you.
Yeah, and then is there more like of this goo like seeping into this poor thing's tissue?
Well, it's still your decision whether you want to keep pulling or not.
Yeah, I want to know whether he already asked, but I mean, does it look like it's in a lot of pain or?
Same description.
Like, imagine
I'm just gonna say I think it's going to live if we pull it out. However, if it turns on us, I'm uncertain.
You say that in character, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll continue to pull.
Continue to pull. Roll me athletics.
That's 16.
Should I make
16.
another roll?
You already rolled the help.
Okay.
As you begin, like as 7 begins to pull, the gunk starts falling off from the deer as it's beginning to move. You're pulling the deer up to like the bush area, and the deer like starts like yelling into the forest as it like the wound seems to have gotten bigger and most of its blood is starting to like convert. You push it up into the edge and it seems to just be laying there breathing hard. You see the inside of the deer by the open wound is big. It's like a mixture of blood and black gunk.
I will.
But it's out of the thing.
Okay, so if it's let down, I will kneel over it, and I'll look over my shoulder to Tormund.
Yep.
And as I'm stroking it, I'll say, I cannot help it. Can you?
I'm gonna make a medicine check to see if this ooze is still afflicting it, or if it's even any chance of saving it.
Go ahead.
Roll the 10.
You see, like its entrails, its stomach and liver beginning to like blacken as you put as you would an ink dye into a cup of water. It's starting to begin to blacken, and you're not sure if that's like it's a disease spreading or if you can cure it. But as far as you know, it's just spreading whatever's in it. It's just changing the blood from red to black, and you're taking your best guess is if you cure it, maybe you can save it. But that's just your guess.
I'm going to do this one favor for you, Drow, and I hope it works. And I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on it.
The body glows as it seems like the black starting to pull away, and it's like rejuvenating, like the liver and heart seems to be getting back color from redness. And as the gunk starts fading, it just becomes like a speck of dot as it peers away, and the wound begins to slowly close itself as best
Does
it can.
the animal get to its feet?
Well, as you're, it's still closing. It's like it's a process. You're watching it as it goes. Quail and Dominic, you guys geared up, and you're now. Do you decide to move closer to inspect it or stay with the party? Quail, you notice that the whatever bodies are over there is still over there, hasn't moved. They're just whatever they're doing. They're over there. They seem to have not like been attracted to you or heard from you yet. Other like even if from the deer yelling.
He starts walking up to the other two. Yeah.
Sorry, Dan. You're coming in quiet. I can't even hear what you're saying.
Is this any better?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So he starts walking up to the other two. There's something up ahead. I can't really tell. People. Some. He shakes his head. I could go up ahead, get a better look. Uh, if
I
anyone wants to
say,
come with.
uh, if there's too much danger, run back to us. Uh, we're going to see this through.
And Seven says, I think it worked. There is a cure. Or
It
at least a
seems that
prevention.
it seems that the curing energies of the divine powers seems to be able to remove this place, just as the paladins have done it before.
So, Quail, do you go ahead? Dan,
Yes.
do you go ahead?
Yeah, I go up
He
ahead.
said, "Yeah."
Oh, I didn't hear him. Dominic, do you follow or do you stay behind with the group?
Are we all ready to move on? I asked the group. Have we done what we can for the deer?
The deer's wounds seem to begin to have fully closed, and it's just laying there, panicking. It's just. It looks
Let
exhausted.
me clarify. I'm not trying to figure out if.
I'm just telling what they're seeing.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. If I could finish the deer bit, if that makes sense. Imagine that I pull it by its antler to its feet, and then I like hold one of the antlers and speak into its ear with speak of animals, and I say, you must leave the forest, flee, go, and he starts like slapping its hide, yeah, and I use speak of
Hide.
animals.
Yeah. So with that, Dominic, do you follow Quail?
Yeah.
Pick up my shit because I had to put it all on the ground.
As Tormade is picking up his equipment and Seven's talking to the deer, you two move forward and begin getting closer to these. As you get closer, you see. Roll both of you. Roll me perception.
Am I one of these that you're speaking
Yes.
of? All
Yes.
right.
Dominic and Quail.
Okay. I roll a 7.
Like all together?
Wait, do I have anything that adds to that?
Your perception?
Do you have a high wisdom
Okay, wait.
score?
I have a +1 for wisdom.
Yeah, so you can.
My past. So.
So your perception is +3
What from?
from your character sheet.
No. Like, what math are we doing there?
So perception.
Make that happen.
Let's see. I think it's +3. Hold on. Your character sheet just weirded out on me. No, perception is +1. I'm sorry. I was getting. Its nature was moved down 1 for a second.
Yeah.
Your perception is +1, so you would get 7 + 1. It's 8.
8. Yeah.
All right. And Quail?
That is a 2.
You rolled a 2? I was muted?
Yeah.
All right. As you guys are getting closer, you start seeing like there's these two bears sniffing on the ground as these deer are walking along what seems to be a campsite where these people are sleeping. That's all you guys see as you're getting closer. Do you move in? Do you keep watching from afar? What would you like to do? Like there's no campfire anymore. You just see people sleeping in sleeping bags in like a torn down campfire pit.
Let me be very clear about this.
But you see two large bears just like they seem to be just circling around it. They're not getting closer. They're probably like protecting it, looking at something inside. They're not really sure, but they're just walking around in a circle around these 3 people at this campsite. What would you guys like to do? Or do you want me to come back to you?
Do you want me to cover you? I say.
No response. They seem to be laying asleep.
No, not them. The quail.
Quail. Oh, okay. Quail?
Quail, like, just sort of like, yeah, that's a good idea with his head. I see he gets kind of... we're in a forest, yeah?
Yep.
So
Yeah, it's
you could
black as
probably
night.
find some kind of stick, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna just sort of like pick up one and just sort of throw it at one of the people.
Roll me a range attack.
I think that, am I proficient with throwing sticks?
Yeah, you would just add a +2. It's just a stick.
Alright,
Everyone throws a stick.
That'd be a flat 10.
Flat 10. You feel like it hit the person on the ground on the shoulder and it rolled over, and they don't seem to have moved by it. They seem like to be still asleep.
Can you?
Little more sticks.
He turns.
Move. Go ahead.
He turns to I'm sorry, I forgot your in character name.
Dominic.
He turns to you, and can you just make sure this goes all right? As he starts throwing more and more sticks.
All right. Back to the other guys with the deer.
I'm on one knee and I'm targeting. Move on to the others.
As Tormade is picking up his equipment and Seven is talking to the deer, is like wobbling on its legs as it's trying to stand up, and you whisper into its ear to get out of there, and it seems unfazed by you. It stands up and starts trying to walk forward. It doesn't really acknowledge you, doesn't really say anything. Well, it's starting to tread away. Is that it? All you want to do?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love it just to sort of gallop valiantly out of the forest, but if it just treads off, like that's as much as you can do, and as much as she can do, and she looks to the high elf, and then she looks over his shoulder, and can't see the other two, so she'll look to see if she can find them, which I'm sure she can, and then when she does, she'll begin to just move towards them. Yeah.
All right, roll me perception.
I look to see where the hell the professor is.
Yeah, good one. Something good. 20. Unnatural. I'm on position.
20. So you look out into the forest, and you don't see your companions. You're accustomed to these darkness, so you can see far, really spot them. And you begin to notice that the professor isn't next to you either. And the only light around you is the light from the sword from Torma's blade. And when you look back, you don't see the deer at all. And you feel like the forest has shifted a bit.
I don't recognize my surroundings.
Different. When you're traveling through the caves, you place markers on. You notice each cave pattern like a way to follow the tunnels to lead to different places. So you would recognize that something changed, and these trees are different. They're formed differently. They're not more.
I would look at Tormund as I sort of glance left, right, backwards, forwards, almost sporadically, and
I could have sworn they were there.
this is not the same. Do you see it?
I guess I should make a perception check now. See if I notice.
Yep.
16.
16 went. You saw how it limped. So you would have spotted it, saw your friend's direction over there. And the more you look at it, the 7 punched into earlier, different, gone.
I could have
The
sworn
bush
they
was
were
on your
behind
left.
us.
And now it's behind you.
Sorry, what was that?
I could have sworn they were behind us, but now the bush is there. I start to get a little frustrated because I don't like when things go wrong, and I say, and I let her know if things start getting a little too wrong, don't be too upset if I start lighting things on fire.
That would not be wise, but you will do what you do.
I came here to purge the rot, and if that means burning this place down, then that's what it takes.
Fair enough. But before we burn the forest to the ground, and she's still looking. She's like she's like a deer herself. The way her head moves, she's just constantly looking around. And Paul, does it change when I look? Like if I look, say I look left, then I look right, and I look left again. Does it change? Is it the same?
It seems different. Roll me a wisdom save.
Oh shit!
Can I assist with guidance?
Yes.
Just pour my faith in her.
Gonna need that. Ask it. So it's a wisdom save, did you say?
Mm-hmm.
That's a 20.
20. Something's not right. As you're changing directions and looking around, you swear your vision becomes hazy and you feel more confused than you were before. Trauma Day, roll me a wisdom save.
12?
Same thing. You feel like frustrated. You're looking around. Things keep changing around you. It doesn't look right. Something's messing with you. And what it is, and it just frustrates you more and more. 7, you swear things were there one moment, then the next you take a knife, you slash at one of the trees, turn around, look back, the slash is upside down. Like as a carrier, as like someone that leads people out of danger, something's wrong here. Something's messing with you, and something messing with your sense of direction, and you don't like it.
I'm going to do the only sensible thing I can do before I actually just start launching sacred flames and firebolts around, is I'm going to use thaumaturgy. I'm going to enhance my voice, and I'm going to shout out loud, "You filthy gnomes, where the hell did you go?"
And I imagine that as you take this like deep breath, that I go to stop you, and then it just comes out this booming voice. As I know that is probably the worst thing you can do when you don't know where you are or where your enemies are.
Dominic and Quail. Quail, as you feel like these sticks aren't doing anything, you pick up a rock and you're about to chuck it as a loud booming voice comes through the trees calling you stupid gnomes.
Filthy gnomes.
Stupid, filthy gnome. And you turn back and you see your two friends like at least 80 feet away. Not 80 miles. 80 feet away frantic and confused as they keep spinning around. The only reason you can see them is the light that just keeps spinning from side to side.
Did we travel 80 feet from them?
You swear it was a shorter distance.
Okay, thank you. That was my question a second ago. So let's see. Let me just see here. Whisper, can you do bird calls?
To who?
To Quail.
Okay.
I asked the underground. No, I asked the underground guy.
Yeah, looks at you. I didn't know what birds were until a couple weeks ago.
Okay. Let's see. All right. Oh man, I don't even know what to do here. So let me just make sure I got this right. There's 2 bears in front of us, right? And people
Like
camped
20.
out at the campsite.
Like 20 feet away.
What?
They're not that far. But yeah, they're not that close, I mean.
Quail, I think we should back up, regroup the party. Shit's going bad here. Are you with me?
Quill just like I guess it seems like a normal day to me, and he'll turn around and start walking.
As you both begin to walk, you feel like the air right above you changes, and you see your friends, and they're still spinning around. But when you look above you, the tree line changes. No save for you. You just notice that it starts shifting and turning, but it doesn't seem to affect your direction.
Can I make an insight roll to see if I can figure out anything that's what's going on? I mean, I know that something's not right, but do I have any idea?
Yes.
I'm angry as fuck.
Okay.
Do we see them walk towards us, or is there no? As they sort of get to...
As you're frantically spinning around, you don't really see anything around you.
Okay.
Like every time you switch directions, the tree line changes again.
And no people, right?
No people. Go ahead, Dominic.
I got a 17.
You got a what? A 17? Okay.
Sorry, I'm kind of quiet right now because other folks are asleep. So.
Oh, that's okay. I'm sorry.
Now you whisper too. No, they can't hear you. They can only hear me.
So as you're looking through the trees, you notice something's different. You smell a weird pungent smell in the air. And it seems to be like above you. And it's like, I'll explain this. You know, if when you breathe in smoke, you like begin coughing and begin getting disoriented, like you don't know where things are.
Yeah.
You see same smokes, and you're not coughing, but you also seem to be fine. And Quail, keeping having a mask on, seems to be not bothered either. But your 2 friends, something is like messing with their senses, that they believe that they're walking away from you. The more they keep looking around, as you guys are walking closer.
Okay. As I approach them, I'm going to pull out some of these rags that I picked up from town, the liniments and rags, and I'm going to soak them in water. And when I get close enough, I'm going to ask them to put it on over their mouth.
You both see
And
you both see Dominic and Quayo just coming out of the tree line as they're walking towards you.
Is the professor with them?
Yes.
Okay.
He's gotten quiet though, and he's just holding on to like the rim of one of their like hoodies or shirts, and he seems to be covering his like mouth with his sleeve.
All right. Once I see them, I say, "Where the hell did you guys go?
Do you want it in here?
Can't just disappear on us like that."
put these on. We'll discuss it in a second.
Any good reason why? And I take the cloth reluctantly.
There's bad air here. I think there's bad air here.
Very well. And I start tying the cloth on my face.
Yeah, I would also do so. I think 7 looks. The fact that she doesn't know where she. The fact that the terrain is changing and she doesn't know where she is really bothering her. And so she looks really disorientated and she's not herself that you've seen for the last, whatever, couple of hours. Less calm. A hell of a lot less calm.
Hello?
Hey,
I feel like I missed something because everyone got quiet.
no, we put the masks on.
So you put the mask on, all right? And
I want to give one to the professor too.
he thanks you as he places it on, like around his mouth. As you put the masks on, like the haziness of the tree line starts to fade, and you can see like clearly, like it starts like it looks misshapen. They start straightening it out a bit, and you see clearly, like, all right, the bush is on your left. They're in front of you. We're not confused anymore. Basically, it's like your haziness has gone. You're not as disoriented anymore.
Trees that
The same, yeah.
7 made there.
Yeah, that you. It looks like you made slashes on trees like around you.
Yeah,
like each tree around you is a slash.
Yeah, I imagine that almost every tree has like a scythe slash straight through it.
Yeah. But you're breathing better now. You didn't notice that you were a little out of breath before, as you're starting to catch your breath now.
So I want to explain to them that I don't think we walked very far away, and there's something bad in the air that's messing with our heads here. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm sorry I yelled at you.
No problem, no problem. Everything got a little bit crazy there all of a sudden. It was. So, Quail, what did you see? Can you tell what you saw?
Assuming that wasn't just the air, since I didn't really get it. 3 people that didn't wake up when I threw sticks at them. 2 bears that just circled the camp. Maybe trained, maybe not. It wasn't right, whatever that's over there, and he points.
The people sleeping must be dwarves.
Wait, you've seen people? How many people?
2, 3.
And she looks towards Hoffman. Hoffman.
Hoffman shrugs. Was like, we sent 4 adventurers out. It could be them. Don't know why they're asleep.
They don't look like they're in good. Not bad, like almost trance sleep, you know.
Yes.
Sounds awfully elvish, if you ask me.
Torma and 7. You see 2 large lumps coming behind the 2 gnomes, and they're getting closer.
Okay. I actually get ready for combat. Turn around.
And I would look to use fairy fire properly this time.
You fire it, and it highlights 2. Go ahead.
Yeah, I said it all. I pretty much said it all wrong before.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in light, basically, and any creature in the area needs to make a dex save. Otherwise, they are also engulfed in light. So objects, whatever you want to call objects.
So the light around shows what seems to be like 2 bears, but when the light like shines above them, like their face is ripped off, their eye is falling from their scalp. Like you can see bone and pus coming from like their paws. And roll initiative.
Just one more thing: do they fail their dex saves?
Yes, that's why
I'm assuming so.
I landed them out.
Well, that's important.
Anyone can see it. They get advantage on their attacks.
All right.
Are we part of this, or are we being gotten from behind here?
I told you to turn around.
Since they alerted you, you are not surprised.
All right, solid. Thank you.
Roll initiative.
I got a 7.
I got a 5 plus something. Plus something.
Think
Probably
plus.
just your dex.
I got 7.
Yeah, it's just dex.
7 and 7. Come on, guys, beat that.
Yeah.
16.
That's good. Ben?
21.
All right.
Can I hit the bathroom and smoke like a minute-long cigarette before we get into bears?
Yes.
Zombie bears, man.
Zombie bears. All right, I'll be right back.
Zombie plague bears.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll take a quick break as well.
It was like a 5-minute break while I set this up then. 7, 7. 2, 2, 2.
Talking to me.
Nope, no.
That's a joke.
They got 7.
That's a joke.
Shut up. They don't like you. No jokes here.
Oh, my character has no good attacks.
7. Oh, right. Up. I forgot that.
Attacks.
They're bears, yeah. No, hold on.
That's meta, Dan.
Okay, I'm back. Hello?
Hi. We
Alright,
took a
I'm back.
5-minute break.
All right, I'm back. Ooh. So sorry for shouting at you guys and calling you filthy gnomes.
Oh, you've been nothing but a delight the whole game.
I was just confused, guys. Um,
All right. So maybe some of us thought that I was unmuted.
by some of us, you mean you.
Yeah,
It's okay, Paul. You're doing your best.
I know. Is everyone
Love
back?
you. Yeah, I'm back.
It's just that I asked that question and then everyone was still quiet. I was like, oh, they're probably not back yet. A minute. Is everyone back yet? Nope, no answer. Cool. Just wait again. All right. So let's start off the big old Fidos with 7. 2 big old hunking bears in front of you.
Okay. So she would step forward.
Mhm.
And how far away?
Ah, 30 feet.
And how far away from each other are they?
From each other, they're just like 5 feet away next to each other. From you, they're like 10 feet.
Okay. So I will. So I'll step forward and raise a hand, like from the floor up to my chest, an open hand, and these black roots will form underneath them both. Like the ground will not shake, but sort of morph and crack a little bit, and these black formed roots will come up and attempt to entangle them in place.
Okay. What do they roll?
They roll some stuff. They roll a strength saving throw.
Dex saving throw.
Strength.
Oh, strength. That's even better. Never mind. Because, no. 13 and 16.
Motherfuckers. So I imagine that these roots just sort of come up from the ground and they just rip their way straight through them as they continue to walk towards us.
And as they continue to walk closer, they attack Quail. One of them attacks Quail with his mighty claws. 20 plus it versus AC.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Ten damage.
All right.
Quail, roll me a Constitution check.
Oh no.
20.
All right. Quail, your turn. Look at that.
So Quail takes this hit, and where he his cloak and stuff is kind of scarred up from where it got into him. People would notice that his blood is boiling out, and a light shines from inside his glasses as he's gonna use his ignite ability, or not ignite. My bad. Blaze. So
420.
I now shed 30 a 30-foot bright light and dim light for an additional 30 feet.
Okay. Dim light or bright light?
And
Because you said
it
both.
goes bright light near me, and then dim light outside of that.
Okay.
And for this guy right in front of me, I'm gonna cast my Scorching Ray.
Do it.
Alright, with Ben's thing, I still have advantage, so... Will a 23 hit?
Just barely. I feel like you just got it.
Alright. Alright, I get an extra d6 with my fire spell. Oh, no, never mind. I get my charisma damage to my fire spells. That's 6. 9 on the first one. Crit 20.
Double damage. And no, the first one didn't hit.
12.
Wait.
The first one didn't hit.
Wait. So you rolled it, then you said damage, and then you rolled again.
Yes.
All right. Then a crit does double damage, yes.
Okay. 12, 24.
Damage?
Yeah.
It ignites in a blaze of glory, and it starts like falling into itself as the bones can't hold its weight up anymore.
Oh. I guess then the other one's gonna head to the other one. Right, I get 3 of these? Yep, 3 rays. Oh, 12?
Hits.
Oh, wow. 6 damage.
You sear off its fur as its skin begins to boil. And it becomes its turn as it... Yep.
I'm gonna move closer towards it.
All right. Then it's gonna begin to maul you. Because you're the closest. In its face. Hiya! Does a 16 hit your AC?
Yes.
Does a 10 hit your AC?
That does not.
All right. And does another 10 hit your AC? All right, cool. So it just hits you once. Its claw going to slice at you. Wow. 7 damage.
Right. And he will take 3 damage
Okay.
from my blaze.
Where's blue? All right, and now it's Dominic's turn.
Okay. Let's just see something here. Sorry, my character sheet is.
No problem, buddy. Take your time.
So, um, there is no aim, is there? There's a ready action, but no aim. I'm just going to fire off.
No, there's no me.
I'm just going to fire off a shot at. Okay, so one of the bears is engaged with 7, right? Or
Right. No, one of the bears is the remaining bears engaged with Quail.
Okay, well, I'm going to take a shot at it. If I critically fail, do I shoot Quail? Is there a possibility of this?
Yes.
Mechanically-wise? Okay, well, sorry, Quail. 20, natural 20.
Natural 20, double damage to whatever you're going to do.
Okay, so that's 20 plus 3 plus, for, no, 2 for the dexterity, not 20. Wow, okay, so that is Thunder Cannon D6 plus 1d6, so
It should be 2d6 unless you're using your action to do the thing.
I am going to use that.
Then it'd be 3d6 plus 4.
Okay. Okay, so 12 plus, is there a dex modifier?
That should be your dex modifier.
Okay, so it's 3d6 plus
Dex, which
2 plus
Which-
2. Okay, I got it. I got what you're saying. All right, so that's 12, 7, no, 16.
16 damage. Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 16 damage. You fire into it and it implodes the head of the bear as it then explodes from behind as the bear tumbles to its feet. And jumping from behind it are 2 zombified deers coming right at Tormodé, which is it's your turn, Tormodé.
So there's 2 charging deers.
Yep, 2 charging deers.
All right, I'm gonna place myself in between them and Quail,
Okay.
and I'm going to use Sacred Flame on one of them.
Do it.
They make a dex saving throw, and if they fail, they take 1d8 radiant damage.
Whew. I don't think that's high enough. I'm just going to double check real quick. Oh, that's 8.
Yeah, my DC is 13.
Yeah, it's not cool.
I'm not sure if my wisdom modifier is added to that. I don't think so. So the deer will take 6 damage from a falling silvery flame.
It ignites, and it's now on fire as its rotting corpse is melting off its bones, but it's still charging. One's on fire. There's 2 deers. One's on fire. Charging at you guys. Ben, you're muted.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realise it was my go. I didn't hear that bit. Okay, so she will.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, again, the floor will crack like right beneath her feet this time, and a black whip will attempt to grab around the neck of this deer and pull it towards her. This thorned whip, and
All right.
she needs to do some stuff. I think that's just a. Yeah, sorry. So that is a 15 on the die. 15. That's a 20.
Did you roll
Unnatural.
disadvantage?
Nope.
You're at disadvantage because of the blinding light.
Ah, the sun, man.
No, bright light.
That's
Not
a
just
10
sunlight.
then. 10?
10. 10 plus modifier, just 10 flat.
Just a 10. Yeah, plus modifier.
You miss.
I need some glasses.
You do. That all?
I'm actually gonna miss it like completely then.
Yes, completely missed.
Like rip a branch off a tree or something.
Quail, your turn.
Alright, there we go. I had a little fight with the mute button. So these two deers, how far are they from me and
They're closing in at around 20 feet, 20 to 15 feet.
then and they didn't get caught in that fairy fire blast, did they?
What do you mean?
They're
I
not
don't get
affected by
advantage.
fiery fire.
No.
Alright. Okay. Then I think I'll just firebolt. Yeah, I'll firebolt one of them. Oh wow, that's a 1.
Neat.
That is my turn.
Zombie deer is going to hit Tormadane that's in front of everyone. That's the wrong dice. That's 15, 16. 19 versus AC.
Yeah, that hits me.
All right. It's going to buck at you. 7 damage.
Ow.
It was a really good buck.
This is what I get for not spending proper amount of gold on armor.
Then Zombie Deer, 2. He's going to... Oh, buck at Tormundane 2. $14 versus AC?
Nope.
Nope.
I have an AC of 16.
All right. Done and done. Dominic, your turn.
I am just going to take another shot.
Kablamo.
18 plus dex. 20. That good?
Yep, that hits.
17.
Damage?
Yes.
That kills the fiery deer. Next is Tomade.
I'm just gonna perform a standard attack. $15
Hits.
for 7 damage.
Kill it. And as the final deer falls to the ground, combat ends. These are zombified bears through and through, even though one's charred and skin's burning. It fades away.
Is there any of the similar substance on that was on the living deer when we cured it?
The black gunk from your blades and like weapons and oozing from the creatures are the same that it was inside the deer from before. But no, it's not the same deer that you healed before.
I gesture to Dominic to come over to me.
I do so.
I show him my sword and I say, you should vial some of this so that we can take it back if these scrolls fail.
For sure. I do so. How is everybody? Does anybody need healing?
I got a bit of bruising, but I'm more worried about Quail. And I turn around to face him.
Quail, how are you?
Quail does not look good. As the light sort of like it just sparks out and he just healing. Sounds nice.
Everybody watch my back. I'm going to cast Cure Light. I think is that the wrong term for it in this edition? It's just Cure Wounds.
It's just Cure Wounds.
Yeah. Okay, so the creature is healed for 1d8 plus 1d8 SL plus spellcasting modifier. Is that my attack modifier? Same thing?
That'd probably be wisdom. Or intelligence in your case.
Intelligence for me. So, that would be 2d8. What is my spellcaster level?
Your best level should be level 2. Level 1. You have a level 1.
Oh, okay. All right. So 2d8 plus. Okay, each one. All right. So it's 1d8. Okay, got it. So. There's 5. One more roll. 5, 9, 12. You get that, guys?
Yep, 12.
12 hit points.
That is very much helpful, and I am much appreciative.
Of course. So, if I've cast a Cure Wounds, can I cast another Cure Wounds this day?
Yeah, you're just limited to number of spell slots in your case.
Right, so I've got one more.
Now, guys, what do you want to do?
Check out that campsite. What do you guys think?
I think that'd be a wise decision. Lead the way.
I didn't say I wanted to go first. That was more the theoretical we.
All right. Point me in the direction that I need to go.
I will be right behind you, covering you with a gun.
All right. I start heading towards the camp.
As you begin walking, as you reach the campsite, you see 3 bodies on the ground. They seem to be dead. They look like they were geared up for some kind of a fight. One of them has metal armor that's been ripped open through the chest. The other one seems to be some robed elf that lost its arm. And the other one seems to be like a cleric that's mace was bent inwards. But you see like 3 geared up adventurers dead in their campsite. Their fire pit kicked over and stomped on. But there's There's 4 sleeping bags.
Is Dr. Hooley or whatever his name is still with us?
Yeah, Dr. Hoffman is just like looking around, and
Dr. Hoffman, do you
Professor Hoffman,
Professor Hoffman?
he looks at the only face of that hasn't decayed enough. It's like these were the adventures that we sent in a few days ago. One of them is missing, though.
How old would we say that these bodies are?
These bodies seem like they've been here for weeks. They look decayed, pulled apart, and like rot into the bone. And he claims, Professor Hoffman claims that it's only been like 3 days tops since they went in.
Is anyone part of a charitable organization?
No.
Then it's time to set these souls free. And I start lighting their bodies in silvery flames.
Do you think we should check the bodies, see if there's anything on them that would indicate anything? I don't want to violate the bodies if it goes wrong with anybody's fucking religious beliefs or anything.
No, go ahead. I was just going to see them off.
I agree. I think we should. I am searching the bodies. I am not looting the bodies. I want to be very clear here. Out of character.
So you start searching through the body and the different bodies, and you pull out what's like each of their bags from around them. They were next to them. They were sleeping near them. You find a journal, 4 healing potions together, a couple of like other items, and like a group. How do I say it? A group like inventory of like who's here, names, like money, and like stuff like that. It seems like the wizard of the group was keeping count of everyone's money, like spending duties in this group.
Are any of them wearing Ray-Bans?
No, there's a human knight, an elf wizard, and a human cleric. But there's 4 bags, 4 sleeping bags, and there's only 3 bodies.
I have a question of pragmatism here. Sadly, these people will not be able to use their potions of healing. Should we take them?
In total, if you were like just gathering up what they have +1 ring of protection. They have a fireball wand with 3 charges, a a bracer, like an enchanted bracer with some magical properties, a jar that seems to be filled with some green liquid, and a really dark cloak that seems to be enchanted, and 4 potions.
So, how do you guys feel about this morally? Lady?
Seven looks over the corpses, the bodies. She says, "They were here for the same reasons we were, and given proper burial, they will not need their things. Maybe they could help us."
In a way, help us complete their mission.
I was thinking the same thing.
Whatever helps us sleep at night.
Now, does anybody? I don't think anybody has any duties or actual oaths that will interfere with this, right?
Nope.
Okay. So I've got 4 potions of healing, 1 ring of protection, fireball, 3 charges, jar with green liquid, dark green cloak enchanted, bracer enchanted?
Yeah, the bracer was enchanted, yeah.
Should I pop these in the bag of holding? Seems like the smart plan, right?
Well, are you done searching the bodies?
Yeah, I'm taking the journal though too. Very important, the journal and ledger. I assume that's what it is, right? Ledger.
Actually, before I see these bodies, before I burn these bodies to ship their souls away, I want to see if I can predict how they died.
Roll me an investigate. Unless you have something else that does that.
Medicine?
Medicine, that works. While he's doing that, is there anything else someone wants to do?
I rolled a 23.
I would like to.
Neat.
I would like to ask the doctor to.
It's a professor.
Professor, sorry. I'd like to ask him if he needs to look at the bodies at all.
He just shakes his like, no. I can tell they're dead. That's all I need. Whatever got to them seems unnatural. Well,
Right.
then he starts thinking about it. Then he starts just getting closer to the cleric and just starts looking over the body. And then looks up at Tormade. I mean, I don't want to bother them. Whatever it is you're gonna do, it's okay if I look inside?
I'm already looking, but feel free to dabble.
All right. Then he starts dabbling. Anything else anyone 7, Quail.
No, I'm all good.
I think 7 would just sit, like maybe on like a log or something, and
Okay.
she would be like intently like watching this process, this burial, or this crema, whatever you call it. This
Are you
process, this
intently
burial.
watching? Are you intently watching them, or are you watching the area?
No, I'm watching the process, how to bury someone on the surface or whatever they do.
So
This
I'm
would be like a learning
assuming.
experience.
I'm assuming Quail is, or just looking around the area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Roll me perception. While I go to Tormode. So Tormode, you lean over and start looking at their bodies. They start with the knight. He seems to like have his both legs seems to have been smashed to where he wouldn't have been able to run or walk. And the puncture into his like chest indicates like someone punched, like ripped open, like the armor is ripped open, but the chest is punched in, and it seems inside it's full of black gunk. But also, what you strangely find is there seems to be like greenery growing in there. Like the liver has been replaced by some like vine uh, leaf structure. Like all his entrails seem to be like large vines and grass, like but normal grass. Well, rotting grass, but grass and like bark. Well, not bark. Like vines, bushes, plants, and grass inside of his chest, where it has sucked up all the blood already, and has made made like the inner workings of his body has been replaced with greenery. That's what I'm getting to. He
Are
seems to have.
the
Go ahead.
are the injuries that are caused to him, would they fit being damaged by the bears?
No, when you fought the bears, they seem to have kept attacking with their claws, but never biting. They always just attacked with claws, and he doesn't have rip marks. He has like his legs, so he wouldn't get away. And his sword doesn't seem to be near him. It purposely crushed his legs, moved the sword away, and then started mauling at him. But then all his like organic structure was replaced with greenery. He doesn't have a liver anymore. Well, he has a liver, but it's like tainted and black. He doesn't have a heart. He doesn't have bone, like a rib cage. That's all gone. It's just greenery in there and some black sludge. But there's no blood. Blood has been since dried up for days.
I'm going to ask 7 to look at the plants within, and then I'm going to move on to the next body.
Go on.
But I feel like I missed something.
So, to identify magic items, I need a pearl worth at least 100 GP and an owl feather, neither of which I have. So it's a pointless endeavor at this point, right?
Hey, I mean, you would. I'm gonna let you in a little secret. I kind of just tell you later mechanically what each thing does.
Okay. All right. What I would like to do while they're doing this is I'd like to continue working on my clockwork pearl.
All right, then you can continue doing that. What did you tell 7 to do?
told Seven to look at the natural life that was growing within the body, because that's kind of out of my realm of medicine.
Okay. And you moved on to the wizard's body.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we get to that,
Oh, actually,
Quail. Go ahead.
I changed my mind about that. Can I be looking through the journal? I'm trying to figure out
All right.
what I can get from that.
Roll me a perception or investigation. And Quail, what did you roll before? When I asked you, like, look out and looking over the camp, a perception.
Yes, I rolled perception.
What was it?
Back then I think it was 12
12.
or
So
2.
you
It was 2.
want to re-roll it? Because
Can I?
I really don't. Yeah, I don't remember.
4.
Amazing, and you're being honest and choosing the lower. What'd you get, Dan?
Oh, 4.
You know,
Can you hear me?
Hello?
4? Hello?
Paul? Paul?
Harry.
Can anyone else hear me?
Yeah, I
I
can.
can.
Yeah, I can hear you
Oh.
now.
Oh, okay. I got a 4.
Okay. As a perception. Well,
Yeah.
okay. Well, everything looks fine to you. Like, just dead bodies, people searching him. Everything seems cool. Sorry, I didn't hear anything that you said. It sounded really weird to me. All right. First, let's do Dominic, since you were rolling to do searching on the journal
Investigation.
investigation. What'd you get? Hello?
19.
19?
Yes.
Okay. So you're reading through the journal, and it's a basic rundown of what they said is it seems like the knight was writing the journal, and he wrote that they just took this easy job. It's probably some crazy necromancer in the forest. It'll be easy pickings once they just walk in and kill whatever necromancer is like tainting the forest. Uh, they they seem to been told that there's a druid in the forest, but they never encounter it. So they're gonna rest here for the night and like continue the search tomorrow.
Can I figure out who the missing party member is?
So it seems like there was a human knight, a elf wizard, a human cleric, and a human female rogue. From what they gathered, it seems like the cleric uh, joined from like the next town over, and they were going to go in together. The cleric said that it was just going to be easy work, and there was nothing to really do here. He had like a tense like relationship with the elf, and didn't always like belittled him, and the knight found that weird. The what he put was that the rogue was gonna keep watch at night, and then they're gonna sleep in the forest and wake up in the morning to see where the necromancer is.
Okay, it was a human cleric, human wizard, human. Sorry, who was the elf?
Elf is a wizard.
Ah, okay. And it's the rogue that's missing, right?
Yes.
I'm doing a pretty good job of keeping story notes here.
Okay.
You know?
So Tormade, wizard, you're before you even bend down to check it out, you notice the same thing inside the body of the elf, but he has a like large. His left arm is missing, but coming out of the left arm seems to be a large flower, and black ooze is dripping from the inside of the hole in his arm. But what you know about elves, since you're an elf yourself, I think, right? Yes, you're an elf yourself. Elves don't really need to sleep, but what caught this elf to be asleep? Which is strange is when you look at his eyes are open, and they're glazed over by like a purple blackish like slime. It's like dripping out of his eyes. If anyone was going to keep watch, it should have been the elf, since they don't sleep much. You being experienced as an elf.
Can I tell what the purple ooze is?
It seems to be the similarity of the black gunk that you keep finding everywhere in this forest, but it's a bit lighter for some reason.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna investigate the other body, and then I'm gonna make my help. Ask Seven to help me a conclusion later.
7. Roll investigate, nature, perception, whatever you use. Your best skill at to figure this out.
Yeah, roll.
Okay.
That's a 20 unnatural on nature.
So, looking at this greenery, it looks like plant life. But as you take a flower out, take a vine out or something, and you break it, it's filled with just the black goop, but it's not like the gunk. It's not coming out of it. It's like the same like consistency you would find like if you go outside right now, break a branch open, you would see the inside of the branch, and it's a little wet because it sucks up water. It would be the same thing with the greenery. Like you break it open, and you look inside. It's just like black roots are inside of it, but it's not gooing out. It's staying firm and strong. But on the top of it, it's normal. It's a normal vine, normal green vine. It's a little darkened, but if you were to put it next to like a normal tree, it would be a little hard to tell the difference. Same as like the leaves and the flowers inside of it. look like real flowers, but each time you like cut one open or something, it's different inside.
Am I getting like the vibe where it's finding a host? Like this thing is growing inside, like living organisms and coming out.
You can assume that.
And she says,
It looks like whatever it is, it replaced whatever it was inside the bodies and made itself its home.
do I think that it's not, like, obviously it's not fully formed, or
What?
so is this like not a fully formed thing? It's just like a sprout of a plant, or
You get the feeling it's different, but also in, everything but the black inside looks the same as any other tree would.
do I know why it's? I mean, not why, but I mean, it's growing. Are the roots coming from the floor, like the ground beneath it, or are they growing out from the body?
Ah. So you're looking as you like deep trying to find like the pinpoint where it starts. You pull out what seems to be a black seed where all these plant life seems to be connected to it.
Uh-huh.
Like all the it seems like to be a broken open like pear, like a pear nut now, like a walnut that seems to be cracked open and like roots are coming out of it.
And it starts in the body, right?
It starts in the body.
And yeah, I would definitely relay that information. I'd say I believe the rot is coming from the host. The host is this poor man. It's not from the ground. It's not from the forest. I mean, maybe it starts there, but this is different. This is strange. And he actually sort of pulls the root, this like walnut shaped thing out and cracks it open again a little bit more and sort of opens it up.
Roll me a Constitution save.
Cool, that's not good. 9.
As you open it up, the roots detach themselves from the nut's body and start latching itself onto your hands and start digging into. It feels like a sharp pain as you're watching these roots go into your hands. What would you like to do?
I mean, I believe I will probably start to panic.
I'd scream personally.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. I would love to be able to do something awesome, but I don't think I can. Spells.
The more you talk, the more it seems to be sinking into the veins of your hand. And like you can see it like snaking its way through it till it reaches your wrist.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull my dagger from my from some pocket that you can't really see, but this dagger comes out, and I start just running it across my wrist and just start pulling at the vines.
You slice your hand a bit open as you cut through the vines, and the walnuts seems to have like reacted to it as it like grabs onto the dagger, and it starts trying to squeeze the dagger as you move it through and cut more of the vines, and then none of the veins, and the veins start moving. But now you have a large cut wound in your hand.
And the walnut is on the floor.
Yeah.
So I will just shake myself sort of steady, and I say,
Do any of us see that?
That's on you.
Okay, as soon as I
I-
see this, I want to take, as soon as I get a chance, I'd like to take a shot at the walnut, but I obviously don't have my weapon readied because I was reading a book. But as soon as I get a chance, I want to try and take a shot at the walnut.
Okay.
I'd like to do something, hopefully, maybe before that. If I could,
You,
I'd like.
you can't. He's probably just gathering his gun as fast as he can.
Okay, as he's doing that, I'd like to I sort of reach down to the body and say, "I'm ref, sorry," and I pull like some of the flesh that's not quite rotted away.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that this thing, that this body is just sort of, like
Yeah, it's decayed enough
rotted
where you can
away.
pull the
So
flesh. Yeah.
let's pull a bit, and I throw it to the walnut
The vines
and
start
see how it reacts.
latching onto the dead hunk of meat and start implanting itself into it. Dominic, will you like to shoot? He didn't tell you no.
He didn't tell me no. I have no real justification for why I wouldn't if I was doing it a second ago.
All right. Fire. No need to roll. You just fire.
Oh.
You blast a hole into the ground as this chunk and walnut incinerates itself, and it's just crisp on the ground as this flesh is just spewed all around it. There's just this black ashy marker on the ground. The walnut seems to not be moving anymore.
Do you mind? I'm trying to do something over here. I just look over slowly. I'm a little annoyed that they're shooting their gun.
It's like a little blasted. You see a blasting mark on the floor, and there's just debris of where he shot it.
I shake my head, obviously disappointed at the ruckus that they're making, and go back to work.
So you look into it, and you basically start noticing the same thing, that there's greenery all around inside this thing, this body. Professor Hoffman gets up from the cleric and looks over at Tormade. It's very interesting in there. It seems to have assimilated whatever organs that were in there, just converted into flowers. We'll love to study, but I am not touching it. Hey, what happened over there?
I don't know. I heard a gunshot, and they're too oblivious to even talk about it. All I know is that these things are going to burn. I get up, and I turn around, and I walk over to 7. I say, "Are you done looking at this body? It's time for them to go."
Yeah,
Okay.
Go.
Nope, go ahead.
No, say what you saying.
I was just going to say, if you were talking this whole time, we were probably muted. That's what I was going to say.
Oh, okay. You would see 7 holding her hands would be grasped in each other, and then blood would just be spilling out from this wound in her hand. And she would look at you and say, I think the fire would be best."
I'm just looking at her wrist. I'm like, "What were you doing over here? I investigate the wounds on her.
It seems like someone sliced the palm of her, like the top of her hand, cleaned open. But it seems like whatever was in there is gone now. It's just flesh. Very, very hurt flesh.
Did she take any damage from it?
Give her like a 1 damage. I'm not gonna kill you over role playing.
I'm like, shake my head. I'm like, well, it's time to see them off then. Bother bearing any risk of them growing after this. And I'm going to just keep things simple and sweet to save time. I'm not going to go through the whole rituals. Just place. I'm just going to cast Sacred Flame on all the corpses.
The corpses ignite, and you can hear the crackling of wood inside of them as each of them starts igniting on fire and start burning away. The tree line around you lights up, and you can see each of your companions looking around, staring at the bodies as these bodies fade away, start burning away. And I think that's a pretty good place to call it for the day.
All right. One last thing before we close. As we're watching the bodies burn, I'm going to explain what I think what I learned from the journal.
Okay.
I'll also tell them what I learned when he finishes.
Yeah, me too.
Now, are you guys
Alright,
actually going to explain, or are you just
Yeah, I'll
going
go
to say you did
first.
it?
I'm going to
Okay.
I'll explain mine.
Okay.
All the victims' legs crushed and their bodies mutilated, but what I assume is some small slashing weapon. I can't be too sure because of how much the bodies have deteriorated. But the most important thing is, if anyone hasn't noticed, the elf is sleeping in the sleeping bag. That should not be the case. And to prove it, there was something on covering his eyes, similar to the eye cord that keeps coming out of the bodies of all the animals we kill. There was a purple or violet substance similar to it that was coating his eyes. And I believe he was poisoned into sleeping. I believe the rogue that is in the journal is behind this and lured them out here to get killed.
Wait. This is Pernod, right?
Yeah.
You believe
Perhaps she's not the reason why this is here, but she's certainly an accomplice.
She did not wait for the turn to be completed. She left. Maybe she ran. Maybe she isn't part of this.
Perhaps the same thing happened to what we experienced earlier. Perhaps she got confused.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm going to drop my current notes. Let me know if I'm missing anything here, folks. I'm going to drop it just on the side.
I'm not sure if we actually found the blight, but I think we found a good substance of it.
Should we return to camp and return, or should we make camp, or should we push on?
Do we even?
Uh,
I feel like I'm just if I'm ending the session, I'll pick up right where we left off.
Yep,
oh, so there's just no rest period?
No rest period yet.
Okay.
that's okay.
Because I had notes of what we were gonna do in this session, and we only got the 3 of them. So I didn't even get to finish my session 1 notes. But I feel like it was a good place to stop. Kind of
Yeah, I
getting
agree.
late. Good job, guys. Proud of you. Good game.
No one died.
Yeah.
No one died. How every one
agree.
of you acted. Since Anak, you're the one taking notes. I'm just gonna. You can type this in for now. The other items that I have is, +1 ring of protection. 3 charges to a fireball wand. A band of the savior. It's a brace of the savior. So mechanically, if whoever wears this, like bracer, can change places with a target of his choosing, but it takes his full turn to do it. So you can switch places with like an ally of your choosing before or after an attack or during your turn, but you are sacrificing your turn to do it.
I'll take that.
Go ahead. Slime jar, which contains a small green slime inside of it that you can command. A cloak of shadows, which, as long as you're in like shadowy darkness, but it doesn't make you mute. It doesn't make you silent. It doesn't make you mute. It gives disadvantage to everyone trying to look for you. But as long as you're silent and quiet, you are invisible to them. And 4 healing potions.
All right.
So no one has any problems with me taking the bracer of the savior?
No.
I don't have any problem with it. What techniques would be done with that? I mean, and I'm not even sure really totally what your character can do. So I'm totally fine with it, though. I'm not at all.
I'm assuming that I have at least the second highest HP pool. So
Nice for sure. Go for it.
I am the healer though, but I think it would be better on me.
Does the wand is it helpful to have a caster have it, and is the sorcerer the best for that, or
The fuck? Spooky ghosts. Well, I'm gonna stop the recording real quick.
okay?
All right.
My character